Hey gamers, it's GrindThisGame here, back with Oxygen Not Included, and this is I'm taking a look at the preview build of the Quality of Life Upgrade Mark 3, which just came out on the preview build, I think a day or two ago. And there's a whole bunch of new stuff. I'm going to try to go over it in brief, as a brief summary. There's changes to the jobs and skills. It's been completely revamped. There's a new medical disease immunity kind of system. There's a new overlay that shows materials. There's some new conveyor quality of life things. The steam turbine has kind of got a redo. And there's a new ice maker machine, hydro fan. And that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go kind of into detail on each of those things. I'll start with the skills because it's probably the biggest impacting thing. So I loaded up my map here from a existing base. And if you do that, there are some issues. It works, but your dupes will all start off with 2 skill points, which you can see here. So they completely changed the UI here. I really like it, actually. I'm sure it has more tweaks and things will change, but your dupes get experience points from doing things. They also get experience points for doing nothing, which is interesting. They get about 1,300 experience per cycle from doing nothing. Because I do have Red here, who's assigned to doing nothing. She just just relaxes. I'll show you in the schedule here. What is Red doing? Nothing. Just bath time and downtime. So I kind of watched her as she leveled up, but her experience goes up just automatically. So standing around makes your experience go up. Once you get enough experience points, like you can see here, I've got 4,064. Once I hit 9258, she'll level up to level 6. And each level unlock gives you a skill point which you can spend over here. Now, in the olden days, you would just give dupes, you could train them in every single job if you wanted, and you'd end up with kind of like a super dupe. But with the way things are now, if I hover over this left column here, we can see the morale expectations and the current morale. So she currently has a morale of 52. And the expectation is 7, but if I kind of hover over here, we can see it's adding +1 for these skills. And then this column, it's mainly +3. And then over in this one, we've got +6. Some are +3. I think, no, that's +5, +8. And then over here, these are really expensive, +9 and +14 for advanced rocket piloting. So once you get a point, you can spend it instantly. So Red, I'll give her, let's see, we'll train her in farming. And you'll see the morale expectation goes up to 8. So she'll be fine for a while because morale is so high. Some of my other dupes don't have, some of my newer dupes don't have that high of morale. But to train them in every single skill now, I think the morale expectation would get too high and you'd get kind of stress issues. So now it makes you kind of force specialization, which I kind of like. Before, it was not very good in that you could just train everyone to do everything. But now dupes can actually kind of specialize, which I like. What else is there in here? Interestingly, the experience points required for each increasing level decreases. Like the number goes up, but the distance between the numbers. Let's see here. A level 5 dupe needs 9,258. A level 6 dupe needs 9,965. But as you get higher and higher, that amount of experience reduces. I don't know if that's a bug or whatnot, but I'm sure it's just all going to change because this is the preview. So I got a lot of skill points to assign here. Like I said, if you load up an old save, you'll get 2 skill points, but everyone starts at kind of really low experience and you'll have to re-level them up. So I've got my kind of somewhat late game base here, and the dupes are not useless, but I'm having to level them up and they're having to reskill. So like I couldn't even cook food for a while because no one had... actually not food. Food was okay, but art and some of the later skills I couldn't do, like exosuit engineer and the this thing here. But that's probably all I'll say about the jobs. Let's talk about the whole medicine change. So even though immunity is still here in the UI, they said in the patch notes that immunity is now gone. And it's kind of been replaced with, I would say, random generated diseases. So earlier on in this base, everyone was clean, hands were clean, and in a different base I was trying out, and someone randomly got slime lung, even though I had not encountered slime lung yet. Sorry, so it seems like if they encounter germs in the environment, it kind of does like a little bit of a dice roll, checks if they've gotten a disease or not, and then gives it or not. And there's ways to combat that. If you go into the apothecary now, I'll just show you the research tree because this has changed a little bit. Pharmacology. So we get the apothecary early on. You can make drugs in here. Then you get medical care, which has the doctor station, hand sanitizer, and then some pathogen diagnostics. And then over here we get the advanced doctor station. So each of those buildings, let's go into the apothecary here. You can make a basic booster. It costs coal to make, which is interesting. It's a good decent amount of coal to make these. And if they eat that, then it's going to, I guess, reduce their chances of getting a disease when exposed to germs. Then there's the basic cure. Alleviates food poisoning. Takes coal and water. And then the intermediate booster, I guess it reduces the chance of getting more serious diseases. And then intermediate cure doesn't say what it cures, but I'm assuming it cures something like slime lung. And then there's an advanced cure. I actually turned off the sinks for the toilets just so that they could get really germy and dirty. So there are germs in the base now, and everyone has a little bit of, like, this dupe has food poisoning. So their chances of getting a disease are higher now, I think. I don't know the exact math though, it's all hidden away. So if we scroll down here, no one's got a disease at the moment, but a few of my dupes did get diseases. Now they don't go to the medical bay anymore when they get a disease. They'll just continue their duties, but they'll be sick, they'll be coughing, they'll be slower. But then you can pop them in the new medical bed, which I think I put here somewhere. If not, I will put one down. Here it is. So these look the same. The art will be improved, I think, but the med bed, let's just go here. We'll build one. The med bed accelerates the restoration of healing versus the doctor station. I think the doctor station is the more advanced one. Let me double check here. Doctor station. Yeah, the doctor station. Oh, the med bed is still in the game, but I guess it'll probably be removed. So doctor station is probably like the new version of the med bed, and then later on we got the more advanced doctor station. Now you can see if you assign it, if a dupe has a disease and you assign it to one of these things, it'll say you need certain drugs. So let's go up here to this advanced doctor station. See, insufficient resources, advanced cure. So you kind of have to use the drugs in combination with the building to cure the advanced disease. You'll also need a dupe with the kindness skill, and I think kindness and care is kind of getting mixed up. It's not quite fully normalized here. But we've got a new care skill down here. Medical compounding, +2 to caring. Duplicate care allows usage of the doctor station, and then, oh, improved kindness. Okay, I think this is a bug. I think this should say improved care maybe, but advanced doctor station usage. Now, I've been playing the game for a little while here. I let some cycles run through, and a few dupes got food poisoning. It slowed them down a little bit, but generally they were pretty much okay. They were... Oh, no, Red just had a bad meal. That's why she's freaking out there. But it slows them down a bit. It didn't kill them, though, and I don't even know if you have to technically cure them or not, but that will probably change with time. The new overlay. I really like the new overlay. So over here... It's good. It's really slow. It's probably because my base is so big here. Yeah, really laggy. And you don't generally use it with all. You can filter it. So I can see all the metal on my base and on the map. Let's zoom out here. Oh, that's some lag. That's some lag. I think they need to do some optimizing on this one. That's all the metal. Got all the minerals. Filtration medium. This is really useful to quickly find the things you're looking for. Like if I wanted to get bleach stone or coal, I just turn this on and quickly see where things are. Got organic, soils, gases, and liquids. I really like this overlay. This is going to help a lot. I use the overlays like constantly, so... the temperature overlay changed a bit as well. We've got thermotolerance now. That was already there, but in a different place. And we've got state change. So this is like, I guess, the likelihood of a state changing. I don't know why petroleum. I guess it's getting close to freezing point, which is at actually minus 57. So that's actually not. Low energy state change, stable, high energy state change. Oh, here we can see the ice is about to melt, basically. So it's showing up as kind of unstable. So red, I guess, is unstable. Maybe blue is... I don't really know. I have to look into these, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so there's been some changes to the conveyor system. Let's go in there under shipping. We've got the new conveyor shutoff, so you can control whether a conveyor belt is being run or not with this thing. Pretty nice. Oops, wrong button. We also have got the conveyor or dropper. I really like this one because you don't have to kind of cheese the game mechanics anymore to get things to drop. You can just have a conveyor belt. I've got debug mode turned on right now, so I can just auto build, but... So you could have a sweeper over here, load things along the conveyor line, and then just drop it on the floor. Really useful for some new capabilities. There's also a conveyor, or no, there's a new kind of container here. The ore dump station. Will open and drop stored when triggered by the logic system. I haven't really played around with this one that much yet, but it sounds like it would be kind of useful. Okay, the next big change is the steam turbine, which I've built up here. It looks a little bit different now. If we open it up, let's just see here. Draws in steam from the bottom. That part's still the same. When you go to build it, oh, the overheat temperature is 1000. It produces quite a bit of heat. I'm going to build another one just over here. It has a new kind of... You have to build it on top of tiles. Or build tiles in front of the part that's kind of crosshatched there. So I can't build it here, it won't let me. But if I built it here, no problem, because there's a bit of a... There's some tiles here. Now the output depends on many different things. It depends on how many of these vents are exposed. So if I put a tile over some of them, the output kind of goes down, the power output, as you can see. So you can kind of control it that way. It's also dependent on the temperature of the steam. So right now the temperature is 123 degrees and you can see you're not getting full output. But if we take our heat gun here and let's heat up this steam even more here. I gotta make sure I'm not gonna heat up everything. If you watch the steam output, power output, as we turn up the heat in here, you can see the power goes way up. I'm not sure what the max is. I think it's around 195 degrees Celsius. Oh, it's at 406 now, but I think I read that it's 195 is where it kind of maxes out. It does produce a lot of heat, so you can see right here, heat production is 62,000 DTUs per second, which is pretty crazy. So you're gonna have to cool this thing down through some means to keep it all hunky-dory. I've kind of artificially made it really cold up top here, so that's why things are working nicely. But I'll have to play around with that a bit more. But it's more stable now, I think, than it was before, and a little bit easier to set up. The other major change is that it's got a liquid output, as you can see here. So the steam is going in at, I guess, 265 degrees. The water's coming out at 95 degrees. Actually, I might have misspoke about the temperature of the steam here. Let's cool it back down and see when it starts to lose its energy here. Let's cool it down. Hopefully I can get it to start to lose energy. Oh, we got water forming. Oh, that's good. Okay, we're below max capacity here. The steam is 140, so it's somewhere around 120, 130, 140, somewhere in that range. I haven't tested exactly where it peaks out. But it's really destroying a lot of heat because the water coming out is 95 degrees. And there's a new way you can cool that water, which I kind of like it. That's the whole new ice maker machine. Here we go. That's under utilities. And it produces a little bit of heat itself, but it produces ice at 500 grams per second. Now, duplicates have to load water into this thing manually. That's kind of the downside of this. So you're not going to be making huge amounts of ice with this unless you have lots of dupes able to load water all the time. But pretty cool. It just kind of drops the ice on the floor, which may not be ideal. You might want to auto sweep it and send it away somewhere. There's apparently a new insulated container coming. Or maybe that storage bins are insulated. I'm not quite sure. Let's see here. I did see in the patch notes some kind of insulated container. So I guess that's where you would store your ice. Or you can chuck it into the new Hydro fan. So the old hydro fan, there's two hydro fans now. There's the one that you fill up with water, this one. Minus 80 DTU, which is kind of terrible. I've never used this thing because it's so useless. They have to deliver water and then they kind of spin the crank and it's kind of useless. But this new Hydro fan, let's turn it on here, speed things up, get them to use it. I think it needs 50 kilograms of ice to operate. But it's actually really effective at cooling. Let's just get a dupe on this. Priority, emergency. That's actually a change as well. This new priority used to be a red alert for the one building. Now it's a yellow alert. And up here we still have red alert, which is even more serious. They'll skip bathroom breaks and sleeping during red alert, but I think during yellow alert, it just sets it to the highest priority thing. And I can see no one's coming to do any work, which is kind of... Oh, there we go. Oh, they delivered water, but they didn't come and use this thing. Oh, minimum temperature reached. Okay, that's the other thing that's kind of buggy and weird in the preview. You can see it says the building cannot cool the surrounding environment below 0. Whether that is like a placeholder. So let's heat up this area a little bit. There we go. Now that it's warmer in here, they've come along and they're starting to use it. And you can see it's doing minus 16,000 DTU per second and consuming the ice pretty rapidly. But this thing's a monster in terms of cooling, even though it has to be manually operated. So some interesting builds, and this is a good early way to cool down your base. I mean, there's probably better ways, but so the ice machine in combination with temp shift plates made out of ice. Down here we got temp shift, we can make it out of ice. These are actually melt much quicker than ice on the floor, but you can also chuck it in the Hydro fan now and get your cooling going. So I probably missed something, but I'll put a link to the patch notes. It's on the Clay forums. Like I said, it's really early days. I've had a few crashes. I think there's been 1 or 2 hotfixes since the preview came out. But lots of new exciting stuff. Not much in terms of performance that I can tell yet, but hopefully they'll be adding more things to improve the performance. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.